Welcome, listeners and growers, to yet another presentation on the Kutsaga webinar seminar series. Today, we're going to be looking at root knot nematodes and their management in tobacco. So, what are nematodes in general? These are small microscopic roundworms that can be free-living or parasitic. The ones that are relevant to us in tobacco are not visible to the naked eye, and the most important of them is the root knot nematode, Melodegain species. This is particularly destructive because of its broad host range. It attacks a lot of solanaceous crops, including tobacco. It has a widespread distribution and a high damage severity. So some of the diagnostic features are mainly on the roots, where you find that swellings occur on the roots, stopping the function of xylem and phloem vessels, getting the necessary nutrients to the plant because the nematodes are parasitizing the plant. Usually, above ground symptoms are characterized by scattered, patchy growth of your tobacco crop, as seen in the picture. For decades, nematode management had not been a problem because there were a wide range of broad-spectrum fumigant nematicides that could deal with this pest. However, because of their toxicity to both the handler and the environment, they have been phased out, and we have limited options to deal with managing this pest. Currently, we have greener products that are not as effective as the fumigants that have been replaced. So it is important to use an integrated pest management system to deal with your nematodes. So in addition to the chemical options that are available, there are a number of control measures like root knot resistance in the varieties, also good cultural practices, as well as biological control, which, if used in tandem, can successfully manage your nematode problems. The first thing to do to control your nematodes is to make sure that you know the status of your nematodes in your soil. It's important to get your soil tested for nematodes. Soil samples are supposed to be collected towards the end of the season when nematode infestations are at their peak. And here at Kutsaga, we do have the services to assist with growers who want their soil status for nematodes. You are better able to know what nematicides to come in with when you suspect that you have nematodes. It's important, listeners, to ensure that when you use your nematicides, they're registered and they are approved on tobacco. At Kutsaga, we provide a quarterly list of agrochemicals, including nematicides that are approved for use. This list is important for you to follow every quarter so that you know which products are no longer approved on tobacco. Chemical control options for nematodes are twofold. We have two classes, namely the pre-plant or pre-sowing nematicide options, as well as the standalone nematicides. The fumigant nematicides fall in the pre-plant category, and these are usually volatile in nature and more persistent, hence they have a longer lasting effect in the soil. So usually such products have a waiting period before you can sow or transplant your crop. The other category of nematicides are the standalone, your planting hole nematicides, which are usually liquid or granular formulations. These are less persistent and need supplementary applications during the production of your crop. Some examples of seedbed nematicides. We have fumigant nematicides like methampsodium, which are applied 28 days before sowing. And then you have 1,3-D and Dazomet. which are applied 20 days before sowing. In the field, you also have your 1,3-D or your chloropicrin, which can be applied 2 weeks before transplanting your crop. In terms of your chemical control options, for standalone nematicides in the seedbed, we have very few options. We have cyclobutyric, which can be applied at sowing, as well as approved abamectin formulations. In the field, there are several options like fluopyram, oxamil, as well as cyclobutyric. Growers are reminded to ensure that adequate protective clothing is worn during the application of these nematicides. It's important to follow directions as given on the product label and also to adhere to the stipulated waiting period for your fumigant nematicides. We have invested as Kutsaga a lot in the production of root knot nematode resistant varieties. Kutsaga has developed varieties that have different degrees of resistance to nematodes depending on the nematode status in your soil. It's very important for you to buy high quality certified hybrid tobacco seed. We have noted with concern that there are a lot of marketers who are selling non-registered seed. Avoid buying and growing tobacco from unregistered sources. It is also important in the off-season to also carry out good cultural control practices, identify and grow suitable relay crops. There are a number that have been recommended to suppress nematodes, such as sunhemp, groundnuts, and Catambora Rhodes grass, especially the GHR1 variety, which suppresses nematodes in a shorter period of time relative to the old Catambora grass. It's also important to seed dress your relay crops with trichoderma so that you not only suppress the nematodes, but you also deal with the soil-borne pathogens as well. Regular soil sampling during the season is also important. If you collect a soil sample at mid-season, it will help you to keep the nematodes in check. It's also important to maintain good hygiene in both the seedbed and in the lands to ensure that the nematode population pressure is reined in on. I'll continue to preach the gospel of IPM. We cannot solve nematodes just using the chemical control options. It's important to ensure that you use good agronomic practices, good quality resistant varieties, as well as making sure that you plant early and you do the necessary rotations. Thank you, growers and listeners alike, for listening. This comes to the end of my presentation.